Hebrew click. I know you can't understand, and I'm on some Hebrew shit. Check out my Hebrew drip. My Hebrew drip. Check out my Hebrew drip. My Hebrew drip. You know I'm Hebrew fresh with my Hebrew click. I know you can't understand, and I'm on some Hebrew shit. Check out my Hebrew drip. Clothes with a garment down to the foot. Lil' mama came back and took another look. Them fringes and them studs probably got her shook. But all I could tell her, I am not a crook. Whole team winning. Can't do it by myself, I brought my whole team with me. Tonight I need some help, I plan on killing these niggas. And I ain't talking heard up.
Shalom, Yahba Shem Yahshua Barakatam, the brothers, Yahweh Shema, done by Shem Yahshua, the sisters. Israelite School of Universal Pipe Knowledge started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I'm the commanding general, Yohana, not affiliated with any of the Hebrew Israelite groups. Since 1969, we've been teaching Black Hispanics and Native Indians that we are God's chosen people. And with that, taught laws, statutes, and commandments. So this is the Wednesday night Isupk Florida law class. I'm priest and officer in the shop, holding it down. If brothers and sisters with no time to get up in here, and we'll go ahead and start the class. Shalom, Yahweh Shema, Thabah Shai, Shayarah, Most High in Christ. Let's give it a few minutes, we'll get into it.
Surrounded by death and vultures. Way too many of my niggas end up on t-shirts and posters. You might be in harm's reach if you step on the nigga sneaks in the city of Palm Beach, so you better get 6 feet. No corona, but niggas gonna get on you up in Daytona. All we see is palm trees and beaches, just like California. No capping, we make it happen. It's either ball or rapping. My niggas up in Orlando, they ballin' just like the Magic and all of the baddest thick women live in Miami, so I be in Hialeah with Leah soon as I can. Be up in Tallahassee, I got fam too, and they chasing that certification up in FAMU. Hey, look, let's get it understood. Even if you ain't from my hood, you still good in my view. Hey, from the ghetto to the boondocks, let's get it. From the sticks to the wood lot, let's get it. From the streets to the wood top, let's get it. We gon' make the whole hood rock. Hey, from the ghetto to the boondocks, let's get it. From the sticks to the wood lot, let's get it. From the streets to the wood top, let's get it. We gon' make the whole hood rock. I date, I'm born and raised, stuck in the ghetto. Hustling, ducking, running away from the po-po. Gripping my phone on fucking hoes like pronto. I'm just a young nigga with tattoos and goals. My game tight, drip hard, I'm ice cold. So low, low pro, so low. It's box Chevys, Monte Carlos and Volvos. I spit facts, slam tracks like hard doors. I'm on point like Rage on Rondo. I'm Big Willie, you niggas are Elmos. I'm straight thuggin' like Pac on death row. No trap house, my shit's in condos with bad hoes. Yeah, dog with no clothes. Cause on God, no trust in my soul. From the bottom to the top, we all know just how the game goes. Shit ain't no joke. From the ghetto to the boondocks, let's get it. From the sticks to the wood lot, let's get it. From the streets to the wood top, let's get it. We gon' make the whole hood rock. Hey, from the ghetto to the boondocks, let's get it. From the sticks to the wood lot, let's get it. From the streets to the wood top, let's get it. We gon' make the whole hood rock. I'm from a place of gold teeth and palm trees, where it'll run you by 4 G's for 12 of these. No conspiracies, Facebook or Twitter feeds, and neither jive turkeys or chickens on the real beat. In the projects is where I'm from and where I be. And every project's got a cornerstone named Mr. Lee. Music slow down, we'll talk 2 or 315. OG on the block selling hot plates and chicken wings. If you ain't a monkey or nigga spit or savagery, then no one know you, so get back, we ain't family. Where pistols popping and bodies dropping, the tragedy. And pussy crackers is watching you fuck the police. Where niggas robbing and bitches plotting, no BT. No paparazzi, just yellow tape in the news team. Better recognize what's fake, nigga, in reality. The whole hood rock when they hear this on the street.
according to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass. Need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bygone. Boy, ass shit, stop it, ass shit, prop. It's about to get serious. Boy, when they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. Oh, he cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up on parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Nowhere is gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the props. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the props. You know, like we all come together. You know what I'm saying? They say God so loved the world. God so loved the world and know your ass need to stop and ask you the props. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask shit. Oh, I'm with step, I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no loss, ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep me slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, got your baby pants through the fire. Ask you the props, that baby soul belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will fail you, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask you the props.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
I've been on mute the whole time. Salaki. All right. Salaki. Yeah, I just saw that. Most High in Christ. All right. But listen, Shalom, Yahbashim Yahshai Barakatah. Shalom, Yahweh Shemal Atham Bashim Yahshai. It's the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We're under Commanding General Yohana. Okay, and this is the ISUPK Florida Wednesday night law class, okay? So if you had any questions or comments or concerns, you can hit the link and jump in live with us, or just put your question in the comment section over here, and we'll handle it for you, okay? There's a lot going on in the earth. I know, we need to know what's going on, how to handle everything that's going on, how to perceive everything that's happening, and that's what the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, that's what we're for. We're here to, guide you, help you out, help you understand what's going on. Trooper Kamar, can you hear me?
Con, Sake,
All right, shalom, Yabashim Yashabrakatah.
Shalom Yabashim Shabakata.
What's up, Christ? You got any questions, concerns, or comments? What's on your mind?
Salakia. I wanted to know, it's just a general question. We could go in the scriptures, but it's more so a general question. Like how do I be uh a better brother to my people, to the nation?
That's a good question. How to be a better brother. Well, first off, you follow God's law, statutes, and commandments, and you know what I mean. The scriptures is all about brotherhood. You know what I mean. All these laws, everything that we find in these scriptures is basically brotherhood. Okay. So go to John, 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20. I think that's what I'm looking for. So everything, you know what I mean? Like you say, how do I be a better brother to my brothers and sisters? Well, treat them as you would have them treat you. You understand? Treat them like when whatever the situation is, whatever the concern is, whatever you got going on, it's an issue between you and a brother, or it didn't got to be an issue. You just want to help somebody, or somebody did something to you. Whatever the issue is, you got to look at it like, how would I want that person to handle this situation if I was across the table, if I was on the other side of this situation? How would I want them to, handle it on with me? You know what I'm saying? You got the scripture?
Con.
What does it say?
The book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar.
Right. So you got to love your brother, okay? You have to love your brother. That's the beginning. Like if you love him, I know, you know what I mean? Like it's 2025, the way we grew up in the hood, everything that has happened in your life, it's hard to look at, a stranger or a brother you might just know as, a friend or something like that. He's not a straight blood brother, same mama, same daddy. And, love them the way that you would love yourself. But that's how you be a better brother to, the nation, okay, your family. You love them. You treat them how you would want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? You understand?
Con.
There's the other scripture I wanted was, when Christ said, when they asked Christ, I think it's in Matthew, when they asked Christ, what were the two laws? You know what I'm saying? What was the greatest law?
Con.
Yeah, go ahead and grab that one. Okay. This is very, what you're asking me is very, it's like the bedrock of how we build this nation. You understand? It's like without these laws or this way of thinking and living, we'll never be able to, build this nation. You understand? Shalom, Yabashim Yashab Barakatah.
Shalom, Yabashim Short.
We have to prefer one another. You know what I'm saying? That's almost part of it too. We have to prefer one another over any and everybody else. Now, I'm not saying like if you had a business or something like that, you couldn't hire an Edomite or a Moabite. You can do that, but you're going to consider your brothers and sisters before you consider anybody else. You know what I mean? And listen, that's nothing strange. The other nations do that. That's why when you go in a Chinese restaurant, there's nothing but Chinese people behind the counter. Now, lately, as of late, they do employ, Hispanics or, some Levites or whatever, you know what I mean? People that don't have green cards and like that, stuff like that, brothers and sisters, and they put them in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Just to make their life easier. But if they could, they would prefer their own. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we have to get with it. That's where we have to go. You got the scripture?
Come with sir.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 36. Master, which is the great commandment in the law?
Go up one.
Khan with Khan. Then one of them, which was a
You
lawyer.
Yeah, let me know where you at.
Khan with Khan. Book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 35. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him, and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment.
So if you want to be like, this is where you start. You know what I mean? This is the beginning of being a good brother and sister to your family. Okay. They asked Christ, you know what I mean? Like, what is the great commandment? Like, what is the greatest thing that you can do? That's almost like what you asking me. How can I be a great brother to my family? How can I be a great brother to Israel? How can I be a great servant to the Most High? How can I be a good brother? Read it from the top.
Start back at verse 35.
Come.
Book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 35. Then one of them, which is a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him.
Right. This brother, he's a so-called lawyer. Like he's got all the, mental intellect that it takes to, run a nation. He knows what it takes to, have a government and, keep it together and have it run, real good. Go ahead.
Saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind.
Right. This is the beginning. This is how you start to be a great brother. This is how you start to be a great son to the Most High, okay? And a great brother to your brothers and sisters, all right? It starts with, loving the Most High. So how do you love, we'll get to that. How do you love God? We'll go ahead and go through it all. How do you love God? You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
That's crazy because I told you before we read this, I said all these laws are basically brotherhood. It's basically these laws were given to you so you would know how to treat your brothers and your sisters. So, so you would know how to be a great brother. So you would know how to be a great father, a great husband. That's what these laws are for. That's what these statutes are for. The United States government, they have, laws, they have, addendums, you know what I'm saying? What do they call their laws and all that stuff? Laws and constitution, you know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Yeah, they got constitutions and all that stuff to run their nation. Now, if you step back and look at how they run their nation, who is this nation? Who is this country? Who is this country built for?
it's a lot. Yeah,
Go ahead.
it's built for them.
Right.
So, all right,
Yeah,
God.
it's built for them. Like, if you go and look into their constitution right now, today, 2025, they never took out that part that said blacks were what, 3/5 of a man, a human being, or something like that. That's still in their constitution. So their constitution, their laws, and everything that they came up with, their forefathers put together, is for them. How to treat one another, how to, how to work together, how to build a, society. Well, God, the God, true living God of the universe, chose blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians and gave them laws, statutes, and commandments on how to develop a culture and a government and how to live in the earth and how to treat one another. That's what these laws are. That's what this book is. These are our statutes, our laws, our commandments on how to run the earth, how to be a civilized people, how to run the earth. And the way we get back into that position of running the earth is serving God. There's no other way. We have to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments to be a nation, to be a government, to be a people. So for you to be a great brother to your brothers and sisters, you have to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. You have to learn, you have to study them. Just like it said when you read it, what was it? Verse, where did you start at? 35, right? It says, then one of them, which was a lawyer. Now, the reason why they're saying he was a lawyer is because he studied these laws, statutes, and commandments. He studied these words. He studied, you know what I mean? He was studious. He knew the breakdowns. Well, he didn't know the breakdowns, but he knew what these laws said. Christ came and gave us the true breakdown, which was, you know what I mean, the spiritual breakdown of it. He knew the physical. He knew the physical end of it. Thou shalt and thou shalt not. He knew that. He knew all about it, but he didn't know the spiritual side of it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know what these laws were really for. And Christ came and taught him these laws, statutes, and commandments. This is for you and your people. This is how, you know what I mean? Like, you have forgiveness for your brother. You don't charge your brother usury, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for everybody. This is for us. Okay? So, you know what I mean? To be a good brother to your brothers and sisters, it's all right here. Read verse 39 again.
Go, God. Matthew chapter 22, verse 39. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
So he's saying, you know what I mean? The second, which tells you to love your brother as you love yourself, is darn there, you know what I mean, is almost as important as loving God. Because if you love God, then you're going to do these law, statutes, and commandments. And if you do these law, statutes, and commandments, it's going to have you loving your brothers and sisters, like automatically. You know what I'm saying? Default. You follow these law, statutes, and commandments, you love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian by default, because that's what these, you know what I mean? That's what these laws tell us to do. Okay. Now I want to get a scripture on how to love the Most High. Give me Second John chapter 1, verse 6. I'm glad you asked that question. I mean, it's a very important question because we don't, like the average brother and sister, they don't think like that. How do I love black people? You know what I mean? Like, just imagine you kicking it on the corner of, you know what I mean? You hanging out with your homeboys, and the conversation is, how do we love Negroes better, more? What does it take to love Negroes? You know what I'm saying? That's not the
Right.
narrative. That's not the narrative, you know, in the black community. What's the narrative? What's the more common narrative between blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians when they talk about other blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Somebody, one of you brothers, tell me what's the more common narrative when you know, like a few brothers are hanging out and talking and kicking it, and if they talking about other blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian, what is the narrative? What are they talking about?
So like, it's it's usually, I know for one, it really don't got nothing to do with love, like what we talking about. Usually it's about, a lot of times it's about, but it's more so about, I want to say hate, probably hating on the next black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. It's always, something that got some kind of negative uh connotation associated with it.
Salakia.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was, you know what I mean? If you got a few brothers together, hanging out, kicking it, doing whatever, and if they talking about somebody who's not right there with them, they hating on them. They're gonna be hating on them. They're gonna be plotting on how to, you know, how to hurt them, saying, you know, they this or they that. They're not gonna be talking about loving them. How do I love them better? How do I be a better, you know, brother to these other blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? That's the narrative that's gonna be, you know what I mean, on the front porch or in the backyard. How do I unalive this cat? I hate this Negro. You know what I mean? And here you are, come from them same neighborhoods and them same blocks and them same corners, them off the same porch and backyard, and you over here talking about how to love brothers and sisters more. Just that alone makes you a hell of a brother already, because you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure it out. When the world, everybody else in the world is trying to figure out how to feed their own belly, how to, you know what I mean, how to be better, a better person for themselves. And here you are talking about how to be a better brother to other brothers and sisters. Okay. So, that's very heavy what you're saying, you know what I mean? And Lord allow, you know what I mean, you will, you know what I mean, be able to carry that out and learn and teach other brothers and sisters how to do this thing, called brotherhood. Where you at with it? What you got? What you holding?
Salaki. We was in Second John. What was the chapter and verse of Salaki?
2 John. There's only one chapter. I think it was verse 6.
Okay, okay. Oh, and also Salaki, I think Officer.
No, I'm too up.
Con, sir.
Yeah. Go ahead and read that.
Con. It's the book of Second John, chapter 1, verse 6. And this is love.
Right. This is basically, you asked, how can I be better, a better brother to these brothers and sisters out here? Okay. You basically you're asking me, how do I love them better? Is that a good, uh, way of putting what you ask me?
Con.
Right. You want to know, how do I love these blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? You know what I mean? How do I be, a better brother to them? How do I love them better? You know what I mean? Go ahead and read it from the top. We're gonna let the Lord answer this one.
Con. The book of Second John, chapter 1, verse 6. And this is love.
Wait a minute. I just got to say this before you, because I got a lot to say. I'm like you. I'm thinking about stuff all day, and in that neighborhood, our neighborhood, on those porches, in those houses, on those street corners, at the corner store and all this other stuff, we have brothers and sisters who are passing each other, talking to each other as they pass by, and do stuff, and I hear it all the time. And just by me hearing it, I know it's fake. But our people especially our sisters, they love to tell each other they love them. I love you, girl. You know what I mean?
Right.
I love you. I love you, girl. What's up? Yeah. Like, our people, they on this thing, it's so fake. It's so fake. I love you. You know what I mean? You got some brothers sometimes, they be like, hey, all right, bro, I love you, bro. You know what I mean? You'll sleep with my wife if I turn my back. You know what I mean? But you love me, right? Okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I leave that wallet out, you going to go in it and take the money out. You know what I'm saying? So, no, we got a real bad perception of what love is. And on the other end of it, we think love is a feeling and an emotion. You know what I'm saying? But love is not a feeling or an emotion. Love is an action. You know what I'm saying? I learned that young. I taught during the, you know what I mean? At least I knew as a kid, you know what I mean? Damn. You know what I mean? You can't love me if you won't even feed me. You won't give me no nothing to eat. Yeah, but you love me? Come on, man. Love is an action. You know what I'm saying? I didn't mean to cut you off, but read it from the top again.
Con. Book of Second John, chapter 1, verse 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, ye should walk in it.
Right. This is love. This is how you love God. This is how you love your brothers and sisters. That you follow these laws, statutes, and commandments that are laid out in this book, that are laid out in our records. That's how you love. Now, this book is going to tell you you can't sleep with your brother wife. That's love. This book is going to tell you have to take care of your parents when they get old. That's love. You know what I'm saying? This book is going to teach you how to love Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So, someone can truly, in yourself, can truly say, you love somebody because you're following these laws, statutes, and commandments. You're doing it, you know what I mean? You're doing it by the letter. You're keeping these laws. You're showing them, an action. These laws, statutes, and commandments aren't just feelings. They're not, feel this way and feel that way. It's do this and do that. Don't do that. You understand? So loving Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is you knowing these laws, statutes, and commandments. Is you being a good servant to the Most High God. And just by you being here, he has called you and you heard the call. And he wants you to serve his people. He wants you to get his people, help raise his people out of the dust. Because that's where we're at right now. We're in a low state. We're in the dust. He wants you to raise them up. Help raise these people up. How do you do that? By waking them up. Teaching them the truth of these scriptures. You understand? And that's just going to take a little time. You know what I'm saying? You start learning, start getting the breakdowns. Go ahead, get ready for your officer's test. And you will go out and teach other Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians how to love one another. How to be a better brother and sister to each other. Give me Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes. I think we want to go to, where was it? Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. The one y'all, officer.
Come.
Can you read that for me?
Come.
Most High Christ, the water.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Right. Stop. See, this is what the brother asked me is a very common and important question that everybody should be asking. A lot of people do ask this question. They ask it in the form of like, what's my purpose? You know what I mean? What's my purpose in life? What should I be doing? How do I help how do I help people on the planet? What am I supposed, like everybody, people want that answer. People want that answer. Why am I here? What is my purpose? And the Lord has answered that question for his chosen people, the people he chose. He answered that question. How do I love Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? How do I be a better brother? How do I serve God better? That's basically what the brother asking, because he knows already, you serve, you know what I mean? Like you have to be a better brother and sister to serve the Most High. You have to love him like you love your brothers and sisters. So you can't love God and say you love them. We read that earlier. You have to love them. Okay, go ahead.
Fear God and keep his commandments.
Read it from the top.
Come. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Right. And remember, now this book said this is the whole duty of man, but you have to remember, you have to keep this. When you're reading this book, the thing that always have to be in play in the back of your mind is that these words are only for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So when it says this the whole duty of man, that man is who, Trooper? Who's that man? Trooper Kamar.
Salaki, sir, say it again.
Right. The scripture we just read. Did you hear it?
Con.
Right. So at the end it said, for this is the whole duty of man. And I was asking who's the man that these scriptures is talking about.
Salakia, the people, talk about the people who the Lord chose, who the Lord gave the laws to.
Right. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. We have to keep in mind when we're reading these scriptures that these words they pertain to only, Blacks, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the lost 12 tribes of Israel. That's who the man is. That's who the woman is. You know what I'm saying? That's who these scriptures are talking to. So the whole duty of man, your whole purpose, your whole duty is to serve the Most High. That's how you love Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians better, by serving God. That's how, you know what I mean? That's how you be a better brother, by serving God, keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's your purpose. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, your purpose, you was chosen to be at a certain position in the earth, to hold a certain position. Our family is supposed to hold a certain position in the earth. And being a part of that family, you have a duty to carry yourself a certain way. You know what I mean? You brothers understand what I'm trying to say?
Come.
Right. You can't, it's like if you were, those royal people over in Britain or whatever, the Queen Elizabeth and all them, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have to carry themselves a certain way. They can't just do anything. That's why when they do something out of, you know what I mean, the norm for them, it's big news. You know what I'm saying? Like when one of them married that, that so-called Black lady. You know what I mean? That was they carry themselves like that. That was big news. That was, he got cut off from the family. You know what I'm saying? So there's a certain way that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that we're supposed to carry ourselves in the earth. There's a certain, you know what I mean, way we're supposed to conduct ourselves. And you can learn how to conduct yourself by reading these laws, statutes, and commandments and coming into the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge and learning how to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, learning how to be a better brother and sister to one another, okay, in this nation. Okay. So I hope I answered your question, Trooper. If not, get with me after class and, you know what I mean, we can go through we can try to break it down some more.
That's it.
No sign of Christ.
Con, set the water.
Nah, no sweat. The water to you. The water to you. No sign of Christ. You got anything on the one Officer the one y'all?
Nah, not us, sir.
All right, most sign of Christ. So it's a lot going on in the earth, but it's pretty much the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's always the same thing. Hold on 1 second. Do me a favor, Officer. Are you able to see the chat?
sir.
Okay. Just let me know if there's anything over that I need.
Don't.
I appreciate it. So, you know, the latest thing that has caught wind is Charlie Chapman or something like that. His name is or was. No, right.
Charlie Kirk.
Say that again.
Charlie Kirk.
Right. Okay. Charlie Kirk. Yeah. I didn't even know he existed. I had no idea who he was I didn't even know he existed in the earth. I didn't know he was, using up oxygen off the earth. I did not have no idea, but it's a heavy thing how, the other nations feel about us. And, obviously, if you don't know, the Lord made it that way. You know what I mean? The Lord, he made it that way. The Lord created that so they could, teach you a lesson. The Lord created them to hate so they could teach you a lesson. He's the most high's rod and staff for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Caucasian race. Okay. And I asked the general about it in class. He said this is like genocide what they do to us, because the way I was looking at it, I wanted to, because Donald Trump also, he's putting these tanks and stuff in the neighborhoods, and if you look at it, he's putting tanks, he's, sending tanks to communities. Like when you send a tank somewhere, what does that look like? What is that, telling you? One of you brothers tell me, like, when you see tanks and stuff sent off somewhere, what does that say?
It look like we about to go to wars.
That's war. I asked the general, I said, it look like war. They're at war with us, sir. I mean, they are, but in a sense, they're not. They're not at war with us. You know why they're not at war with us?
Because we're not fighting that.
We're not fighting. We're not fighting them. How can it be a war if we're not fighting them? You know what I'm saying? We don't even, you know what I mean? Like, these people do stuff to us, treat us a certain way, and we try to love them more. We try to love them even more. That's a heck of a mind state to be in. You know what I mean? It's a hell of a mind state to be in. That somebody is hurting you, and instead of you fighting back or, separating from them, you decide to try to love them more. That's a hell of a love right there. Trooper Kumar, that's a hell of a love right there. Now, that is a heck of a love right there. So, that's where we're at in 2025. We have, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who don't even know that, what's being done to us. The general, he compared it to what they're doing to the Palestinian people over there, right? That's genocide, right? And believe it or not, that's what they're doing to us. The only reason why, like, we're still here is because, the Lord said it. He made it that we wouldn't be wiped out. You know what I mean? It's only because of the Lord. Okay. Let me get the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. But yeah, so it's really not, we're not at war, but we need to separate from them. We need to, take our love away from them. Like, the love that we have for them, we should harness it and refocus it to one another. We should harness and focus that love to each other, to the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian community. Because they, they don't deserve our love. They don't deserve for us to love them. They don't deserve our kindness. Let me get Psalms 55 and 20. So our oppressor has, he's been doing this to us ever since, the Lord decided to put us back into slavery, which was foretold through Moses in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, everybody knows. So ever since we went into that punishment, we have been having genocide committed against us. If you would go ahead and read Psalms 55 and verse 20. Trooper, you got it?
I got it, sir.
Go ahead.
Psalms 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant.
Right. That's what, our oppressor has done to us. Like we're literally, you know what I'm saying, at peace with them. We work for them. We fight their wars. I don't know what more they can ask. We take care of their babies. We're at peace with them. Ever since they came over here, our brothers, invited them down there with open arms. Right. Till they started, killing them and unaliving them and, taking their land and raping their women, you know what I'm saying? But 2025 right now, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, for the most part, we are at peace with Esau. We don't even want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? We don't even want no smoke. We just want to, live. Ain't that what black people say, man? I just want to live, dog.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to live. They don't want to, you know what I mean? They don't want no smoke. They don't want rulership. They don't want to fight. I just want to live, dog. Like Biggie Small said, you know what I'm saying? What do you say? I was just selling to feed my daughter. I just want to live. Well, your enemy will have nothing to do with that. We will have nothing to do with that. And listen, y'all can jump in anytime you got something you want to say. You know what I mean? Like, but that's the point.
Like,
go ahead.
I just want to say, like, on the part you were saying, like, we just want peace. We see that peace with them. We just want to live. Like, During when we was having all them riots, our main slogan, no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Like, for so long, we have been wanting peace with this oppressor, and he can't seem to give us any peace. He can't seem to give us any justice, any liberty, any freedom for so long. That's why the Lord advocate for us to separate from him,
That's it.
because us trying to join with him and expecting peace and expecting justice from a devil that gave liberty to them when you was in slavery. Like, you, how you gonna get liberty when you was in chains? And you think it's gonna change now? They didn't rewrite the Constitution after you got liberated, so-called liberated. They didn't rewrite it. Those same laws that was written in 1776 is the same laws that stands in 2025, and that's the same reason why you could get hung, and they say it was suicide.
Yeah, I just saw something today, and they showed a college or whatever. I don't know where the college campus was, but it said that they found a black person hung, on a tree, and the police said there's no. I'm almost about to laugh. The police said there's no trace of foul play.
Yeah, right,
Nothing's wrong here. Nothing's happening here. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
just crazy. And what you said in the one, y'all, you know what I mean? That's the big thing right there, the separation. Like, black people hear separation, and the first thing they think is, oh, we got to get on an airplane, we got to go to another land, or, you know what I mean? No, like, it's so easy just to separate from them. Like, don't go to their restaurant, don't celebrate their holidays. Like, keep your economy separate from theirs. You know what I'm like? It's so easy. Keep your love separate from them. You know what I mean? So, man, what you're so right. You know what I mean? You're so right. It just seems like even the Lord said it. You know what I mean? Like, we're supposed to be separate from them. We're holy. We're supposed to be a holy people unto the Lord thy God. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they definitely, they are not at peace with us. And like you said, no justice, no peace. We just want some peace. We just want peace. We just want to live. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Lamentations 4:4 and 18. Because you know what I mean, this is how they feel, and this is what they do to us, and that's why there can be no peace.
It's a lot.
Go ahead,
And if I may,
please.
like another thing too, like it was a sister that was saying like, "Oh, F Charlie Kirk," like she was happy he was unalive, and
Right.
she went to jail for that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Man, I didn't. Wow. What platform? I mean, like, how did
she was it
school
was
or
in a
something?
go ahead, sir.
No, I'm sorry. I'm like, where was she at? School or something?
I don't know where she was at. It was in a public area though, and she was saying that out. She was screaming. She was like F Charlie. It was a whole bunch of dogs around. Like F Charlie Kirk, F Charlie Kirk, and she went to jail for that. Like Charlie Kirk, his family they could have peace. They could have peace. They don't gotta look on the internet and see people disrespecting them without repercussions. But George Floyd family could see Charlie Kirk saying all these type of things. He got unalive from what you say, drug overdose. They could
Yeah.
see all that.
Right.
They could see his Charlie Kirk was mocking his daughter, George
Wow.
Floyd's daughter. They could see
Mhm.
all these things, but Charlie Kirk family could have peace. They got the president. They got the whole white society rallying behind them. But us as black and Hispanics, we don't got nothing. It's a lot.
No, you're right. You hit it on, like, listen. That's so crazy what you just said, because You said his family get peace, right? They got peace, right? And the evidence is what you just brought out.
Right.
One black girl, one black girl interrupted their peace. And what happened to her? She went to jail. They got peace. They get peace. They live lovely and wonderful and great. No interruptions. Meanwhile, we that's all we get is, you know what I mean? We have to stop and mourn constantly for our people. There's no peace. How do you have peace if all you do is mourn for your people that are being unalived by another people? Read that scripture. It's crazy.
Lamentations chapter 4 and verse
Hold on.
8.
Is the trooper with us? Trooper
Come
Kamara.
on,
Most
come on, sound back.
Most High Christ. We're at tell them where we at
We at
one
the book of Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 18.
if you could grab that and read it for me, I'd appreciate it.
Khan, I'm there, sir.
Go ahead.
Khan, the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 18. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come.
Right. That's our, you know what I mean? All we want is some peace. You know, all we served our, punishment. We served out our punishment. Now all we want to do is just be able to say, F Charlie Kirk, you know what I mean? And we can't even do that. They come and hunt you. They're constantly hunting you. You can't even go in your street and say F Charlie Kirk. But they can go in the street and say, what was the brother you just brought up?
George Floyd.
Yeah, they can go in their streets and say F George Floyd and have no repercussions, like you said, officer. But we can't even go in our streets and say, it's a good thing that the oppressor is falling. Because they're constantly hunting us. So we can't say nothing. We can't have peace.
Salakia. Salakia, if I could.
Please.
Yeah, that's that right there is already crazy because that's what that's kind of what the Kurt dude died behind is the is his speech. You know what I'm saying? What he said, his opinions. You know what I'm saying? His opinion. That's what he died behind. And there's so many white people that's on there saying, "Oh, why? How could you do this? He has a right to free speech and da da da." But as soon as you know what I'm saying, as soon as just like what happened to the sister, we make a peep about it, expressing how we felt. You know what I'm saying? How the people felt towards Charlie Kirk, and you know what I'm saying? They coming to get you.
No, it's like it. The one y'all.
Come.
Hold it down for 1 minute for me.
Come, no sweat.
Yeah.
But yeah, come on. Wait, repeat that one. Repeat that again. Come on.
Yeah, Salakia. So I was saying, it's crazy, like that. What happened to Kurt? Alleged, it was over speech, like over freedom of speech, like some, somebody, what I'm saying, took him out. Allegedly, it was about, you know, it was his views and
You're
you know
right.
what I'm saying, or whatnot. And it was so many white people, in the comments on the video saying how you gonna hate and when people were celebrating, they was talking about how can you how you gonna hate somebody for their right to freedom of speech? How could you da 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 da? But then when people who had opposing views who didn't like Charlie Kirk or didn't like what he stood for when that happened to him, and and when our people express how we feel, just like you was breaking out earlier, sir. You know what I'm saying? They coming to get you, just
Right.
like they got the sister. But what happened? You know what I'm saying? What happened
Like it.
to the free speech? She
Right.
didn't kill Charlie Kirk. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And you know why? Why they saying that? Cause like I was just bringing up, like these laws aren't for you. The freedom of speech, that's for Charlie Kirk. It is not for that sister. Like, freedom of speech. Charlie Kirk could say whatever he want. The Ku Klux Klan could say whatever they want. Donald Trump, every oppressor on this earth could say whatever they want. But once we bring out something, we get what it is demonetized. We get blackballed. All of our views start going down. The Jewish, he take down our videos, cause we don't really have like any liberty in America as they say we do. And every time, every single situation, anything that happens, it's gonna show you that. It's gonna show you how much slaves that we still are in America. Like time will tell. So like yes, sir.
No, you good. You perfect. I appreciate, you know what I mean, how you bringing it out. You know what I'm saying? Like you are very articulate about, how you are, presenting this thing to our people, and that's what we need. You know what I mean? I need you to, you know what I mean, bring it out the way you are. You know what I'm saying? So they can understand it, and you know what I mean, and consider. That's all. Like that's all we ask our brothers and sisters to do is consider what we're saying. Just consider it. You know what I'm saying? Just consider, be open minded. And that's what they say, be open minded. Be open minded. You know what I mean? And hear us out. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? And help us, you know what I'm saying? Bring these words out, and bring these laws out. You know what I'm saying? Help us help you. Is that, you know what I'm saying? Help us, help me help you. You know what I mean? So you don't have to live in this condition. So you don't have to live without freedoms of speech. So you don't have to, you know what I mean, be hunted in the streets. You don't have to go to jail for thinking that, you have a freedom of speech that you don't have. Like, you was bringing up. So, you know what I mean? That's exactly, correct what you're saying. Where we at? What scripture we was on?
Salakia, sir. We was in Lamentations 4:18.
Okay.
Salakia, do you want me to start again from the top with that?
Nah, you 12. That's 12. Let's see. Yeah. But something we need to understand is what, something Officer Nwanyala brought out a little while ago, you know what I'm saying? Is, like we gotta separate. Like at the end of the day, that's the whole thing. We gotta separate. We have to come up out of her. We have to come up out of, her ways and her thoughts and stop thinking that, we're part of their constitution. We're part of their laws. You understand? We're not a part of their law. Their constitution, the only part of their law that we are part of is where it says that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are 3/5 of a man. That's still in their constitution, right?
Come.
And I don't like to be a conspiracy theorist, but in my mind, I'd be like, they gonna pull that card one day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna pull that card one day. They're gonna pull that card and say, see, no, we're gonna put y'all over here in these cages or over here, and this, you know,
Salak.
Alcatraz, Gator Alcatraz, or what, you know, they're gonna pull that car and say, no, you're not even a human being. We can do whatever we want to do with y'all. They, you know what I mean? They not leaving that junk there for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I just, in my mind, be like, they're gonna pull that car one day, boy. Go ahead, Noah.
All I was gonna say, like, I think they already pulling it, like, just with Trump being elected and like how they had the Mexicans in the cages and the ICE, how the ICE is taking our people with no compassion. Like they have no compassion towards us. Like me personally, I believe they not coming out and saying it yet, but their actions is showing like you was an animal. An animal got more rights than us.
Yeah.
Like you'll go to jail for 20 years for abusing an animal. But Donald Trump was sent 20 ICE agents to abuse every Mexican in one town, and they would still go home and eat with their children, eat with their family, while your family is crying because the ICE just hurt your father so damn bad. It's lucky.
No, you absolutely correct. I mean, just imagine, you know, how they rip families apart. Like they will have nothing to do with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians having a whole structured family, you know what I mean, identity. They can't stand that. They can't stand you having a father and a mother and, you know, they're in the same house and y'all love each other and you're peaceful. Before they let that happen, they'll come and rip the family apart, take the father away, take the mother away, and then put the kid in some, you know, some detention somewhere where they're going to raise him to think like, you know, a good slave. Shalom, Fred. Is that young
Shalom.
man Fred?
Khan, sir. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatham.
Yo, but
Yeah,
Sure.
and Fred, what part of Florida are you in?
Slocky, sir. I'm in Cocoa, Florida.
Go, man. Sorry, Christ. We had the pass over there up in Cocoa, not, you know, a few years back.
yeah.
Khan,
Okay.
sir. I heard.
Who you checking in with? Thawashab?
Khan Auto Khan.
Okay, Most High Christ. Most High Christ. Fred, if you would give me Deuteronomy chapter 7.
Khan Auto Khan.
Wow.
Whenever you're ready, sir.
Wow. Yeah, you know, like this is, I think this, what the brother is about to read is the, you know, the big part of how we get away from, you know, the mindset that we're in, that we're, you know, that we're Americans. You know, so many brothers and sisters get in trouble, you know, thinking that they have this American status or these rights that, you know, the Caucasian race has. And, you know, they on the side of the road arguing with an officer, a police officer, about their rights. And, you know, like the one y'all was bringing out, you don't have those rights. Those constitutional rights were not, when they was written, you were 3/5 of a man. So how can they apply to you at 2025? It's a dream. They got you living a dream. Okay, and it's time to wake up. It's time for our people to wake up out of the dream world and separate. Get your mind out of loving white people. Get your mind out of loving white society. Get your mind out of thinking that you're an American. Get your mind together. Wake up. That's what it's time for. Okay, and the Lord calls for it. The Lord will have nothing to do with it. Us being, one nation under God, indivisible. Read.
Okay, sir. Verse 1, right?
Come.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, and verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hast cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
Why would he do that? Why would God cast out those nations? Why would he do that? Before he let you go in there and live there and possess the land, why would he kick them out? If it's supposed to be, all people come together, one nation under God, why would he remove them out of the land, then put you in the land? Somebody tell me why.
Y'all got it.
Like you said, because he don't want everybody together. He made children of Israel to be separate, have their own land.
That's it. The Lord don't want you possessing the land with other nations. That's why when Christ returns, the scriptures say he's going to take them and put them in their place, put them in their own land. They're not going to be in the same, vicinity as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's when we'll truly have peace, when we are separate from them. That's the only time we'll ever have peace. Keep reading.
Wakan, verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
Listen, that needs to be what we're getting ready for. Okay. So the verse 1 said, when he removes them out of the land, and give you the land to dwell in it, that you are not supposed to make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Like you need to love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians only. They don't deserve your mercy at all. Keep reading.
Wakan, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
So
thy daughter thou shalt not give. Salaki. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Right. They can't live around us. We can't marry them. This is a commandment from God. The Lord is telling you not to marry them, not to want this one nation under God crap. They've sold you a dream. Keep reading.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
That's how you raise your children. You raise them, and you tell them they are not allowed to be with the other nations. They are not allowed to marry them. Like, we have to start teaching our kids this from, from as soon as they come out the womb. You know what I mean? We got to start teaching them these laws, statutes, and commandments. So when they grow up, it's in their heads, because they're being taught something totally different right now. Average black household, they teach their kids, baby, you got to love everybody. Well, that's not what God said. Baby, you can't judge nobody because they, their sexual orientation. That's not what God said. You understand what I'm saying? We got to start teaching our kids the real truth of our law, statutes, and commandments, our culture, the way we live. because if we don't, we're never going to get out of the situation. We have an obligation to teach our kids how to live in the earth. We're a royal family. We can't do what everybody else does. We got to teach our kids. This is the beginning of the end for the other nations. Us teaching our kids how to live and how to behave in this earth. And the only way you can teach them is if you know. You have to learn. You have to become a lawyer in these laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
Khan, verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
Right. Like we are the only people on the earth. Listen to me carefully. We are the only people on the earth that our prosperity depends on how we behave. Depends on how you conduct yourself. Like other nations, they can be animals. They can eat whatever they want to eat, do whatever they want to do, sleep with whatever they want to sleep with, and still prosper. The lost 12 tribes of Israel, we are the only people on the earth that are governed by true law, by the one true God of the universe. And the only way that we can prosper in the earth is if we conduct ourselves the way he wants us to conduct ourselves. And that's in these laws, statutes, and commandments. It's the only way we prosper. The only way we are on the bottom is the way we conduct ourselves. Like our whole being is dependent on how we conduct ourselves in the earth, what we do, how we live. Now, if you want to be on the top, you have to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. You find with being in the ghetto and the barrios and being on the bottom, then just do whatever you want to do. Because that's the results. You not living according to your laws, statutes, and commandments, your constitution puts you on the bottom. Keep reading.
Khan, verse 5. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire.
That's what we're required to do today, right now. This is what we need to do. You get that Christmas tree out of your house, you burn it. You take that image of white Jesus down and you burn it. You take the cross and you burn it. You take that rock or whatever it is, you burn it. All those gods, you take, and you destroy them. And you come back to your God. You come back to your culture. You come back to your statutes. And the Lord will bless you. He will put you on top again. But we have to do it as a family, not as individuals. That's why we got to go and wake up our other brothers and sisters. That's why we got to do what Trooper Kamar asked earlier. We got to learn how to be better brothers and sisters. We got to learn how to love one another first. And all these laws hinges on loving Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's what this book teaches you how to do, not the other nations. The Lord don't want you in their presence. He don't want you living with them. He don't want you loving them. He don't want you marrying them. Keep reading.
Khan out of Wakan. Verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Thou art
So,
what?
for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Right. The Lord wants you to be separate from everybody else because you're separate to him. You're something special. You're separate from everybody else. You're not like the Edomites. You're not like the Jebusites. You're not like the Hittites and the Canaanites and the Jebusites. You're not like them. So the Lord doesn't want you with them. He wants you separate from them. Because if you marry them and you start being like them and you living among them, you're going to serve other gods. You're going to serve Christmas and Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day and whatever other idiotic thing they come up with. You're going to do that. And the proof is in the pudding. Why do I say that? Somebody tell me why I say the proof is in the pudding. What does that mean? The Lord told you not to sleep with them, not to marry them, not to be in the same land as them, or you will serve their gods. What does that mean? The proof is in the pudding.
Salakia said.
Go ahead.
It means is the evidence is right before us. We can see it right here.
Every day you go outside, we're celebrating their gods. And the Lord told you it would happen. He told you it would happen. And now all you got to do is look around and you first identify who he's talking to, which, is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And you see how they're living and what they're doing. And the proof is in the pudding. The Lord told you it would happen. And it's happening right now. Keep reading.
The Lord God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right. So how can you be special? Like the Lord gave you a way of living, a culture, what to eat, what not to eat, what days to celebrate. He laid out all these things for you. And he did that so you could be special to him. So how can you be special to the Lord if you're doing everything else but what he gave you to be special? Like here you go. Here are these laws. Here's these rules. You live by these and you're special to me. You're separate from everybody else. So how can we expect to be special to the Most High today in 2025 when we're not doing anything to be special? We're not doing anything to be unlike everybody else. We're doing the exact opposite. We are trying to blend in. We are trying to, emulate everything everybody else is doing. So how can we be special to the Lord if he's looking down and we all look the same? We're all homosexual. We're all doing weed. We're all eating pork. Everybody's doing it. So how can he identify his special people? We got to separate. And it's up to, go ahead.
Come on, I just wanted to bring something out real quick, sir.
Please.
Can I get Deuteronomy 4 and verse 6? Because like you were saying, sir, like Like us in 2025, we not keeping the statutes and commandments of the Lord. We in a strange land. But if we was keeping the statute and commandments of the Lord as a nation, like the other nations will know that we are better people than them. Just how off of our God will bless us for obeying him. If anybody got that scripture, read it for sure. Deuteronomy 4.
Con. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 6. Keep therefore and do them.
Right. Read on.
For this is your wisdom
Your
and
what?
for this is your wisdom
Mm-hmm.
and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Right. This is your wisdom and your understanding inside of the nations. Like what Martin Luther King did, that wasn't wise. He didn't have any wisdom. And he was so dumb to make us integrate with the oppressor that we've been falling even more ever since. Like 360,000 Black and Hispanic children aborted every year just because Martin Luther King thought he was a leader to join his people to a burning house. But if he knew the laws of God, it would have been his wisdom and understanding. He would have knew that our best bet was to stay away from them. Our best bet was to keep our Black hospitals, keep our Black water fountain. If he would have knew the wisdom and the understanding of the Lord, and it would have been lucky. Read on.
Con of a con. Which shall hear all these statutes and say,
Right.
surely this is a great nation. Salakia. That will say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Right. That's what they would have said of us if we would have never integrated. Like the Chinese man, he could come to America and be fake a part of the society, but he got his own people in China. He got his own nation, his own army, his own military, his own fighter jets. The Russians, the Palestinians, every other nation could come into America and go back to a place of their own, go back to a place that's full of their people, full of their own military. And they are looked at as wise. They looked at as wise because they could come to America and integrate, but at the same time go back to Africa, go back to China, go back to Taiwan, and still have our own military at home. But us, we fully integrated with this oppressor. That we gave up everything just to get a crumb off of his table. But the Lord told us if we would have kept these statutes, this would have been our wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. Like we wouldn't be mocked upon. So like Blacks and Hispanics is frowned upon in America, frowned upon the whole earth. If we would have never integrated, that would have never been a thing. It's like,
Man, that's wonderful. That's great what you're saying. You nailed it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in the sight of the nations, if we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, like they will be able to see it. You know, that we are, you know, just by keeping, this is our power. These laws, statutes, commandments is our power on how to be, like I said earlier, this is what governs us to be great or not. Slacking. Somebody, let's go to Nwanyala. Nwanyala, can you hear me?
oh, I was muted. Come on.
Yeah. Give me where it says that will become a byword. I think it's in Deuteronomy also. 28:37 or something.
Yeah.
But you know, the officer bringing out is, you know, right on point. You know what I'm saying? Like if we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, like we'll be great in the sight of the other nations. And you know what I mean? As we separate and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, we'll be, now the Lord can see us as being a special people again. You know what I mean? He gave us these laws, statutes, and commandments to be separate and holy, so we could look different from everybody else. So we can talk different from everybody else. We can dress different from everybody else, because that's what the Lord wants. Okay? And by doing it, just by doing this, that's so heavy that just by doing, like, you don't have to figure nothing out. You don't have to figure anything out. Like, how do I become great in this world? How do I become, this wonderful, great people? How do we do it? It's already been figured out. You don't have to figure it out. All you got to do is follow the orders. Do what is contained in these scriptures. Do that, and you will become a great and mighty nation. You will be wise. You don't have to figure nothing out. All you got to do is follow God. And that's our problem. We're trying to figure it out. It's already been figured out. The story's been written. It's already been written. It's playing out right before your eyes. Like, there's a part for all of us to play. There's a part for all of God's chosen people to play. Like, we're the ones with the decision. The other nations, they don't have a decision. It's been written already for them. They're going to be on the bottom. They're going to serve us. But there's a certain point in evolution where, when this thing happens, some of us, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, are going to die with the oppressor. Then some of us are not. Okay? So you either get aboard right now so you can make it on the chariots, or you step off and die with the oppressor. But there's no figuring it out. You got to make a decision. You on board or you're not. That's it. But the train is moving forward. You got that scripture, the one y'all?
Come.
Is it right? Is that the right one?
Come.
Okay, so let let young man Fred. Where's Fred? Yeah, Fred, you there?
Con.
Go ahead, read Deuteronomy. Let him know where it's at. The one y'all.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37.
Con, sir, whenever you're ready.
28 and 37. This is, again, the proof is in the pudding. The Lord called it out. He told you what was going to happen if you sleep with the other nations, if you serve their gods. He told you what would happen. And here's one of the prophecies right here, and the proof is in the pudding again. So go ahead and read it.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
Right. If it's either one or the other. We just left the scripture that said if we keep the law, statutes, and commandments, we would be great or wise people in their eyes. We will be wise and wonderful and great, truly understanding people. But if you don't keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, read it from the top again.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
If you don't keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, what will happen?
Thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb.
Listen. You white people, Chinese people, they're all, even though they have a hand to play in, they help keep us in this condition. But they're still astonished by it. You know what I mean? They look at us, they be like, I just don't. I can't understand. Why can't they just get it together? You know what? They're astonished. They are astonished by what how we live, the things we go through. Even though they got a hand in it and they help, they stick back. They're astonished. Like, I can't believe it. It's still happening to them. They're still, they're astonished. Read it again.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword amongst all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
Right. No matter where we're at on the earth, we can be in the UK, we can be in, China, we could be in America. No matter where we're at on the earth, we are astonished to them. We're an astonishment to them. And we're a proverb, a byword. You know what I mean? Black, nigger, red. Red. What is it? Red man, savage. We're a byword and a proverb to them. They're astonished by us because listen, we're astonished. We're astonished to ourselves, among ourselves. We're a byword to ourselves. You know what I mean? My Negro. You know what I'm saying? We look at each other in astonishment. God damn, you know what I mean? Like it's just we are governed by these laws, statutes, and commandments, and it's going to be one or the other. We keep the laws, and we are a great and wise nation. We don't keep the laws, and we are an astonishment and a byword. Okay, we keep the laws. We'll read it real quick. Give me where it says, if we keep the laws, we'll be above all other nations, real quick, and then we'll end it.
Verse says what?
That we will be above all nations on the earth if we keep the laws and commandments.
Deuteronomy 7:6.
It's not in Deuteronomy 28 or 27. Okay, go ahead and give me that. Whatever you got.
I got verse 13. It says,
okay, no, verse 28.
Yeah, 28 and 13.
Give me 28 and 1.
Come.
Most High Christ, wow.
Deuteronomy 28 and 1. And it shall come to pass, thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Please, if you would, officer, read that one more time for me. Read it again, because this is what this is. You gotta. This is. I told you. We got. It's either two ways we can go. We can do what the Lord say and be great, or we can not do what He say and be low. Okay, read it again. Wow.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Okay, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you do what God say, He's going to put you above all other nations. You don't have to figure it out. All you got to do is follow the orders, follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Now read verse 15.
Come. Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right, that's it right there. Okay, so blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people, The Lord figured it out for you. He already set it up. There's a system in place. All you have to do is follow it. You follow the system, and you're a great and wise nation in the sight. You're a great and wise people in the sight of the nations. If you don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments, you'll be a proverb. You'll be an astonishment to the other nations. You will be on the bottom. So that's what, you know what I mean? That's basically it. You come into the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We teach you how to be a better brother, a better sister, a better, Israelite, how to conduct yourself in the earth in 2025, and we will get this nation again on top. Okay, so that's it. We're either on the top or on the bottom, and we're governed by these laws. Our success is governed by the law, statutes, and commandments. Our failure is governed by the law, statutes, and commandments. You either get on or get off. It's one or the other. But the train is moving. The Lord is Christ is Yahushua is returning. You're either going to be on the chariots or you're going to be on the ground burning. So with that, with the Israelite school and any brothers got something y'all want to bring out?
Salakia, sir, if I may add one precept, sir.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 28 and verse 9. Because what you're saying is heavy. Like, this isn't just a light topic about the law. I think it's vital, you know what I mean, to the our community that we take heed to the law, if I may.
Please, go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 28 and verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be in an abomination.
Right. The Lord don't hear, the prayers of, sinners, regardless of what, the church tells you. You know what I mean? That's in the scriptures. You know what I mean? The Lord does not hear the prayers of sinners. The Lord hates sinners. You know what I'm saying? So like, the brother's very good precept. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord, he set it up for you. He gave you a choice. That's the only choice that we have, and as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We either follow the laws or we don't. Okay? And you follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, and the Lord will make you great. If you don't follow these laws, the proof is in the pudding. We'll be on the bottom, just like we are today. But in this Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, we're fighting to bring our people out of this astonishment. Anybody else?
No, sir.
No, sir, Christ. All right, the water for that, Fred. Most High in Christ. We'll go ahead and salute y'all brothers out, and then we'll go ahead and end the class. Okay? All right, shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbarakatham to the brothers.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbarakatham.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbarakatham.
Most High in Christ. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shem the sisters. Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, starting out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana, not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. Shalom.
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 What's up?